Today's 5D podcast is brought to you by Thumbtacks. Thumbtacks. They're sharp. In 5D. That's all I had.
So we got about 20 cents on that sponsorship, yeah?
20 cents per thumbtack.
Ooh, we're going to be millionaires.
like now.
No, like the guy who invented the little like reflective dots on the highway.
Oh, yeah.
Like his family made a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he sold them per. It's
Smart
great.
man. Smart man. I'm only doing this so early because mine's been sitting here for a while, so
Here
I don't
we
want it to
go
get warm.
for our
There
boy.
we go. Always got a drink for our boy in there.
Yep.
So how you doing?
Good. I'm having Morgan Cherry Vanilla Coke Zero.
It's too many friends.
It's
And not even for the Morgan, for the Coke.
It's delicious.
I don't like the vanilla on the soda. For me, like I'm just like you're taking a sweet thing and making it sweeter. I don't need it. I'm actually gonna surprise you like it because you're usually pretty sweet averse.
No. I love sweet and I love savory, but stay the fuck away from each other. That's my thing. Like, I'm cool with some dessert, but don't try to put dessert on my food.
So, French fries and milkshakes. Flat
No, I'm good. But I'm even like I make a couple exceptions. A really freshly made sweet and sour pork when it's still crispy.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's good.
try to do that in any other way, like these sweet sauces. I'm just not in. Like I don't even
What
like.
about
this.
like carnitas? Usually, isn't it? Or no, not carnitas. The one's always served with pineapple. The name is escaping me.
It's Al Pastor,
Pastor, yes. I was like, it's my other go-to.
and I like to find the places that don't do it with pineapple. But
I actually am the same way, though. I'm
Yeah.
giving you shit, but I'm the same way. I actually like keep the pineapple the fuck. Honestly, though, it's not the sweet for me. It's the texture. I don't want a squishy pineapple in there with my chewy meat.
well, my problem is that it makes the tortillas soggy too.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just not in. I don't like soggy tortillas. I
I
prefer.
keep making. We just did like a big batch of carnitas because I do mine in the slow cooker, like a big thing all at once.
Yeah, I do them that way now too because of the recipe I got from you.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it is.
And it's so easy, and you can make a bunch, and then leftovers makes for a quick, easy dinner. But we've been doing tacos, and every time I do them, I just do one tortilla, and like I got like a runny salsa at home, and like it's greasy meat and stuff, and it just eats through the tortilla. I'm like, this is why they all use two. Why do I not just do two? And then I go, calories.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Because I'm old now.
I'm in the
worried
same,
about these
I'm
things.
in the same boat now, but because I've like switched how I do things, they're not all greasy or anything. Because we'll either air fry them or like let their own fat do the thing. So we're not really.
Ooh, I haven't done them in the air. I always put them in the cast iron because I got the nice cast iron. You get it
Yeah.
super hot and it gets that nice like crispy char bit. But that's smart. Get them out of the slow cooker and then into the air fryer.
Yeah,
I might try that tomorrow. Look at you revolutionizing
just
shit.
saying. Try some of that. It's a lot less
Eduardo,
grease.
what's it like being a Hispanic man in the 21st century? What is the revolution?
Not being tokenized.
Oh God, it's sad how much like even I get how that's so much more condescending. You know what I mean? Or like how many groups of people I've met over the years who like have their one black friend and they're like, that's token. And now I'm like, oh God. Even when that dude was being accepted, he wasn't being accepted. That sucks.
I mean,
that
but
sucks.
Let's go take a step down history lane, right? Because we were all stupid kids, and I never took offense. But I've literally been introduced by you guys as you're Mexican.
That's true. Though to be fair, you know as well as I do that when it comes to you, there's a certain sense of ownership. No, I'm kidding.
You're right.
Totally kidding.
Well, no, and it was just one of those things where I just understood it. I'm like, it's funny. I get it.
Though what's funny is other members of our group were actually like half Mexican. They
Yeah.
just looked super white and couldn't pass.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well,
You were literally just the darkest skinned of any of us.
yeah, and to be fair though, like it wasn't just like y'all picked on me and singled me out. We're guys. We all insult each other. Like,
Oh yeah.
Marcus was the big one. Like everyone
Yeah,
just
that
knew.
was our fat boy.
Yeah, He was that of the group. And for the longest time, you were the dumb one.
Yeah.
Electrocuted
was.
12 times.
I
One
mean,
sitting.
mistakes were made.
One sitting.
It wasn't
Oh.
one sitting. It was like 3 sittings. The last ones were onesie twosie. The bulk of it was
I
one
was-
sitting, but it wasn't entirely one
Fair
sitting.
enough. But it was the same power strip, and there was nothing wrong with the power strip.
There's a lot wrong with that damn power strip.
Yes, it couldn't anticipate where you were going to stick your fingers.
Exactly. Why wasn't it smarter?
But yeah, anyways, that's the past, right? That was like 20 years ago. Now we're adults.
Right. Well, and things are different. We're all recognizing things. We're looking at ourselves. That's the times.
Yeah, yeah.
And while looking at ourselves, there is something that this particular group right here likes to look back on at least once a year.
Star Wars.
That's right. That's
And-
right. So we have a weird shakeup this year, right?
Yeah.
Because while we are doing our annual Star Wars rewatch, we had some big announcements made. Some big announcements. Hold on, Vamp while I pull this up really quick, because talking and typing.
So
no worky.
I'll be honest with you. I have never gone all the way through the Clone Wars. I really liked the parts that I saw, but it got really long in the tooth, and there was more new stuff that I needed to check
Are you going
out.
to try the playlist I told you about?
I think so. I think
The Essential 20, where Brooke is rewatching Clone Wars, but she's like, I actually still want to watch Essential 20 just so she can make sure those 20 get seen and paid attention to, you know?
Okay. Actually, I don't recall that list. I thought you meant the Star Wars order list, not the Essential 20
Oh,
for
yeah,
Clone
no. So
Wars.
Disney Plus right now, I've been telling everybody about this. If you're worried about diving into even Mandalorian or Bad Batch that's coming out soon, apparently you can go on Disney Plus and there is a playlist that is 20 essential episodes of the Clone Wars. And so instead of having to watch 7 seasons of a show, they go, here's the 20 episodes that'll give you the details that you need to run with what's going on.
Oh,
and then
that's
from there you
dope.
can jump into Rebels, you can jump into Mandalorian, you can jump into Bad Batch, any of
That's
that
dope.
stuff. Yeah. And it's been, I've rewatched Clone Wars. I've seen it all the way through on a straight run once, and then I've watched bits and pieces of it over and over again. Me and my wife tried it, but I think I'm still going
Wait,
to do the 20
How many
essential just
seasons are there at this point?
I can't remember if it was 7 and they added an 8th,
Okay.
or if it was
So,
6 and they added
I-
a 7th. But there's one more than there's one that I know you haven't seen because it just came out.
I think I only made it as far as 3, because I remember I didn't even make it halfway through.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was fun, but after a while there wasn't enough plot, and there was too.
It's also just a lot. Anything that bulky, my wife is one of those people who can binge. She can sit down and just watch nothing but one show. I gotta mix shit up.
Yeah.
I can't just watch one thing all the time. I need breaks. You know what I mean? Throw
Yeah, I
in a
get
movie
that.
here or there, something. So that's where I think Clone Wars. And it's also a kid show. You have some crazy dope reveals, some cool characters, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of kid friendly filler episodes that you kind of just gotta chug your way through.
Yeah, nobody cares when R2 and C-3PO have adventures on their own sometimes.
Yeah. So, anyways, we went off whole tangent. There have been a whole bunch of new Star Wars shows and movies all announced.
Yep.
Honestly, I can't think of a single one that looks bad. And luckily, it seems like there are a couple that will be entry points because they will have no relation to anything else. Seems like it. Could be wrong, but that's what it
Okay.
seems like now, which is great. Anything can use more entry points. Just like Harry Potter, the Fantastic Beasts were a new entry point for people. You didn't have to know. It helps, but you
Yeah.
didn't have to know that stuff. You can get in here and be good.
Yeah, we're talking about the Acolyte or
We'll get there. We'll get there. So first up, I don't want to spend too long because we do got a couple movies to reveal still. But
we do.
So Obi-Wan with Ewan McGregor, and they actually just announced Hayden Christensen is going to return as Darth Vader. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I was about to say I want to talk about that, but we'll keep moving for now.
Well, but just really, I am excited for Ewan McGregor. I think he'll
Of
do
course.
great. Nutshell it. Nutshell your feelings on Hayden Christensen.
I thought that he was a good actor. I have no idea why he delivered the performance he delivered in Star Wars because
And
even-
we've talked about a
Yeah.
lot of people sucked in that movie. A
Yeah,
lot of people.
Exactly. So I think that he's
You
learned.
think he can bring him back?
Yeah, I think he's learned. And honestly, I'm excited because I'm hoping this will tell me more about Vader. Because I've always wanted to know more about Vader. It just, now that they made the prequels, some shit didn't make sense to me. But
I think you and I need to talk about that more, and B, there is a couple of little drops of new EU, the new Disney canon EU, that I think will inform a lot of what you're trying to sort through in your head. So, yeah, Kenobi TV show, I think they said it's only 6 episodes. It's 6 or 8 episodes, but I'm super into that. I think that's going to be really, really fun. Really fun.
Yep.
Ahsoka is going to spin off from her, spoiler, I guess, her appearance in Mandalorian. She shows up for 1 episode of Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to spin off. She's going to get her own show with Rosario Dawson,
Yeah.
who nailed it. So I apparently there were people online like, she fucking ruined the character. And I'm like, when? Point to the part where she was bad, because she nailed it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I'll get there.
And you're familiar with Ahsoka at least, though, right?
Yeah, the character, like, I'm not like deep into her mythos. I don't know how she ended up.
But you're from like, you know, this is okay. Another, I guess, spoiler. I'm gonna fill you in some lore right now,
But
so not ruining plot
it's
points.
been in the
but
Clone
more
Wars, and the
character
Clone
is.
Wars has been out for years at this point.
Yeah, right. So this is Anakin Skywalker's Padawan. This is Darth Vader's trainee. And actually, this is the only spoilery bit I'll give you, but there's a point in the Clone Wars where she walks away. She goes, look, the Jedi thing's not for me. I don't agree with it. I don't like what's happening here. I don't like this. And she dips. She leaves.
Yeah.
And she comes back in, I think, in Rebels,
Rebels.
and later on in Clone Wars. So, like, she has bits where she pops back up, but she's going to get her own show, her own story, which is really cool, especially if it's leading off of what they introduced in Mandalorian. I won't spoil that part. Please go watch that. It's actually one of my favorite episodes of the show, hands down.
So I heard that the logo itself is very important on the Ahsoka.
Oh, I haven't seen a logo.
The logo of the show, apparently that symbol is something very important from the Clone Wars show.
Let me take a look.
I want to see if you know it before we jump in. And I know that
Oh man, you know what? It is super familiar, but I haven't rewatched all of it in such a long time. Do you know what it's supposed to be?
Yes. Have you heard of the Veil of the Force?
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So that's what it's supposed to be. Well, that's what it's supposed to be. Again, I don't remember it. I just know that it looked familiar, and I was, Googling and stuff, and there were articles about it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
I know it's like deep lore for the Clone Wars, and I didn't know because I've read a lot of the synopsises after I stopped watching it. Because that's what I end up doing. I go on these, Wikipedia, rabbit holes. But yeah, so
okay. Okay. All right, we're going to keep moving.
Yep.
Rangers of the New Republic.
What is this?
It's a direct spin-off, and I'm getting all my stuff from Screen Rant, so forgive me if there are quotes, but I always like to credit where credit's due. So, a second direct spin-off from The Mandalorian is Rangers of the New Republic. Following the downfall of the Empire and the return of the Jedi, the Rebel Alliance help establish the New Republic, the system of governance that will ultimately be wiped out by the First Order in The Force Awakens.
Nice.
As seen in The Mandalorian, New Republic pilots like Trapper Wolf and Carson Teva become responsible for maintaining order in a chaotic galaxy, sweeping up any lingering Imperial remnants along the way. So a little bit, and this is actually being done by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, the creators of The Mandalorian and of Clone Wars. So really, dudes with deep lore knowledge, dudes who know their fucking Star Wars, dudes who at this point created most of the new canon for Star Wars, so it's in really good hands. And since I know they're willing to pull from Aftermath, there is a lot of really cool stuff going on with the Empire. Like the Empire's fragmented. There are different factions of the Empire that exist now. There are some that are more official than others. There's stuff going on with their tech that they've lost and are trying to regain. Like, there's shit going on, so that can be really fun and can drop some really cool cameos for a lot of different characters that maybe wouldn't get light without that.
Well, and in the original EU, like, it took the New Republic years to finish off the remnants of the Empire, right?
Yeah, and then that's
So-
still very much present. In fact, we don't even know if there's not still more of the Empire out in outer space.
Correct.
Or
Because like in the deep
out
regions
past
and
the rim.
stuff.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for the fact that they came out of the ground, the ones in 9 would have made a lot more sense if they were just in a deep unknown region. Just saying. Why the fuck you have
Well,
to bury
we
them?
don't. They could have came from there. I'm guessing that most of those Star Destroyers they got were made in outside space.
Sure, and then buried.
Something, He was also planning. Trust me, check out Aftermath, and Aftermath actually does stack the deck better. It's not good, but it's better. Moving on. Andor, this is going to be the prequel series with Cassian Andor from Rogue One. I gotta say, I do like this. I hope they get Alan Tudyk back as his robot,
Oh, that would be amazing.
and I much rather would have seen a Jyn Orza movie, because I love Jyn.
But for earlier years,
Yeah.
like when she was with
Saw Gerrera.
Saw Gerrera,
Yeah.
huh? I do like.
Well,
Jyn
and
Erso.
actually, she says he left her when she was 16, so you have from 16 to, what is she in the movie? Supposed to be 23, 24, or
Yeah,
something like that?
I don't know. But yeah,
So, you can do all that. I really like that character. I really like that actress. I would have rather seen Jyn, but I think
Yeah.
he has the more
but to be fair though,
hard
like
story.
this is before he redeems himself, right?
Yeah, and that's what he has the hard story. He has the Republic ass or the
Well, he's
the rebels asked me to do fucked up shit in
He's
the name of the
basically
rebellion.
Rorschach, right?
Rorschach.
Sorry, whatever.
And honestly, maybe a little bit more of like a grittier James Bond. His
Okay.
job is to infiltrate and cover up. He can't. He's a man with no name.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. The Acolyte. So this is one of the ones I'm really interested in. So here's the highlights for me. First of all, it's being directed by the director of Russian Doll, which I know
Okay.
we've talked about on this show before.
Yep.
I loved it. Did you end up checking it out?
Nope.
You really should. It's really, really good.
I'm doing Star Wars right now.
I know, but it's only 8 episodes, and it's really good. Plus, this is like Star Wars research at this point. And this is also going to take place during the time closer to the end of the High Republic. This is the first time there's ever been anything of the High Republic. We're
Wait.
going to an area of Star Wars so the High Republic would be back when Jedi and Sith are insanely common and are still constantly like the Sith honestly probably outnumber the Jedi at this point.
I've just never heard it called High Republic.
It's the era of the High Republic. This is even EU. This old EU. This
So
is a thing.
is this like around Knights of the Old Republic time? Is this what we're talking about?
I believe it's only because I'm not familiar with Knights of the Old Republic. I believe this is before that.
Before KOTOR. Not
believe
SWOTOR.
so.
KOTOR.
I believe so.
Wow.
Let me hear. High Republic area in Wikipedia. And again, I'm not sure where it is only because I'm not sure about the one you're talking about. I don't actually really know technically where it falls. So approximately 300 BBY and 100 BBY, in which the Galactic Public was said to be at its height. It was also a golden age for the Jedi, who were significantly more active throughout the galaxy, and a time of expansion and exploration in the Outer Rim territories.
Yeah, no. KOTOR is thousands of years before.
Oh, it's thousands? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
See, and that's why I wasn't sure, because I don't know when KOTOR
So
is.
now I understand exactly the time period, right?
Yeah,
Like-
not thousands, but like hundreds, like 300 years before anything we've seen.
Yeah. I think.
So really cool time frame, done by a really cool director, and a third thing it has going for it, it's a mystery thriller series, which I'm just excited to see something in Star Wars that isn't another sci-fi action.
yeah,
I'm in for Star Wars comedies and horrors and mysteries. I want to see more in the universe.
as long as they don't end up with the same thing that we got with. Shit, I just had it. Oh,
Oh, there was a whole joke you were going to do. I
it
feel so
was
bad
a
for you.
fantastic joke too. No, there was actually another movie that just did this, where New Mutants. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, yeah, okay. So I didn't like the carry out for New Mutants. I
Yeah.
didn't see it, but right from the trailer, I was like, you missed your mark. I get what you're going for. You missed your mark. But yes, I want to see that same, or like what DC is trying to do with the trench.
Yeah.
I'm curious about that. That I don't get it, but I'll watch it. I'm curious. I want to see it.
I'm hoping it pays off for Star Wars though, because we definitely need a little bit more varied type of content.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I think this could work really well. I think it's gonna be really cool, and I really trust the director.
Okay. Yep.
So next up, we got Bad Batch. This is a direct spinoff from the Clone Wars.
Okay, is this animated or not?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's this is basically, think of like this coming out of the Clone Wars.
Yeah, I have been looking forward to this ever since I read about these guys on Wikipedia.
So what the Bad Batch were is they were basically a bunch of clones who were deemed quote unquote bad. They couldn't pass field tests, or they had physical deformalities, or just things like that. And they basically end up battle proving themselves throughout the course of throughout the events of the Clone Wars, the show. These guys come up a few times, and they kind of spin off into being their own little group that just kind of works in its own way. And I didn't realize this, but apparently, this based on the trailer that I saw, this show is going to take place post Order 66.
Yep.
It looks like this group doesn't get Order 66. It doesn't hit them, it doesn't trigger them, and they don't turn. They go, what the fuck? These are our friends. We've been working with this people. We've been working towards this goal, and you just turn on them? And so it's clones against clones fighting against Order 66. Love it. Love it. Top down, love it.
Yeah.
That's all you got? Super excited?
Well, no, it's because I am so in because I've been trying to talk to people about this for a while, but nobody knows who Bad Batch is.
Yeah,
but,
I think it's gonna be really. Plus, I believe it's still Dave Filoni is at least producing it. It's gonna be good.
Yeah. All right,
we got Lando, which I don't believe they've announced that it's going to be Donald Glover. But if it's not going to be Donald Glover, I'm gonna be okay. Oh no, it's saying potentially. So the hope of everybody is that it's actually going to utilize both Billy Dee and Donald Glover.
Okay.
Because you can do both pre and post stories, which is really
can.
cool. I really I like that. But if they don't use either of them, I'm going to be really, really pissed off.
Yeah. It's hard to recast when there's some of the folks that are just, still alive and still working. Yeah.
It is being directed by the creator of Dear White People, which I actually haven't seen, but I hear really, really good things. I do want to check it out. Have you seen?
No.
Okay. Really popular on Netflix. Haven't seen it yet, but it sounds like it's in good. Like, that's who I would want to direct something like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's, who better to do it than somebody who at least understands the medium and is having at it. So I'm into it. Star Wars Visions. This is really cool. This is going to be all animated, and they're random stories at different points in time throughout the Star Wars universe, but each episode is being done by a different Japanese anime house. And they're all major anime houses, and apparently it all culminates in one big story.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm actually really into this. I think that's going to be super cool.
That sounds actually really, really cool.
Yeah.
Because I loved, even though it was weird and wacky, I love the anime version of like the Marvel characters.
Yeah.
I thought that shit was great.
Did you see the What If announcement?
No.
You should Google that once we're done here.
Okay.
So a droid story. So this one sounds weak, I'll be honest. It's just about R2-D2 and C-3PO finding a new unspecified hero and taking them on an adventure.
That sounds like a carnival ride where it's like C-3PO talking with R2 next to him and we're going on a ride.
So that's essential. I think that's actually not going to be too far off from how they're approaching it, because this is being done by Star Wars Animation and Industrial Light and Magic. That is the special effects house for Star Wars, the guys who do all the crazy puppets and the special effects. And these guys are always making new technology. Basically, I think this is going to be a tech demo. It's going to be a show, obviously, with a story, but this is going to be where Star Wars flexes and goes, this is the shit we're testing and throwing away on here to see how it works so that we can perfect it and put it into the full-scale stuff. So it's kind of going to be like getting in on the ground floor of some dope effects techniques.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Because otherwise, it just sounds like it's kind of boring and overdone.
And there's always room for failure, man. Always
That's
room
true.
for failure. So the other two announced. I'm going to go in order of how hyped I am, lower to higher.
Okay, fair enough. Lower
First
to
one,
higher?
it's the one. It's the one. There's the least amount of information about it.
Okay.
They did confirm Taika Waititi is going to get a Star Wars movie.
Yep.
Taika Waititi is the director of Thor Ragnarok and What We Do in the Shadows and Jojo Rabbit. All fantastic. Super weird dude. And it actually sounds like they don't want to talk about what he's doing. So Kathleen Kennedy got up there and was like, yeah, so Taika Waititi's directing a new Star Wars movie. It's not like anything you've seen before. And like that's literally all she would say. Is like it's fucking different. It's Taika Waititi doing
Yep.
Star Wars.
All right.
Which honestly,
Hey man,
based
as long
on
as
Thor
they let him.
Ragnarok, yep, makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's the right guy to tell some sort of story that happens in there. It
Yeah.
just works.
I would
Honestly,
love.
I wouldn't be shocked if James Gunn came in eventually.
You know what I would love for him to do? I would love Taika Waititi. Hopefully, I'm saying that right.
Mhm.
Do a Rogue Squadron movie, like a Top Gun like thing, because I know there's a show.
No, there's not. So
What?
you're kind of bearing the lead on this. Patty Jenkins, the director of the Wonder Woman movies, was just handed the keys to a Rogue Squadron movie.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
And the reason this one's kind of a double whammy, we already know she knows beautifully, visually, conceptually, she can direct some shit. Like, look at Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
The worst part about Wonder Woman was a writing gaffe. I
And
thought the villain was
CGI
very
at the end.
sure, but she's not the one creating the CGI.
Yeah, no, of
but
course not.
like for me, the weakest part of Wonder Woman was the big twist villain was very obvious to me. That has nothing to do with the director. That's the writer.
Yep.
That's how that works. So everything else, she knows how to carry a story. She knows how to put together something really beautiful. And we know she's at least a little nerdy because she fucking hopped all over Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
she got it
that's
in
true.
her. Apparently, her father is also a fighter pilot.
Oh.
Was very active, and she said she'd always been looking for the right movie to do a fighter pilot movie.
Oh.
And then Rogue
yeah.
Squadron came her way. So what I like about this is it sounds like she's planning on doing a fighter pilot movie, but for Star Wars with Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, that's what
That
I've been looking
sounds
for.
Dope.
Yeah. Because, come on, Wing Commander and
Yes.
Last Starfighter, they're cheesy as fuck, but, like, the dogfights are dope.
Yes. And I like the idea of opening up the door more for some like gritty war movies.
Yeah.
I get that like Rogue One's probably the closest we have, but it's still
Yeah,
not the same
definitely.
thing. That's more of like a spy espionage action movie. I want like Saving Private Ryan in Star Wars. I want Enemy at the Gates on Hoth. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. I can see that.
I think it can work real, like the tale of some fucking rebel troopers on Dantooine or some shit.
Honestly, I always thought that having a KOTOR time period movie or show would be amazing because you can do the Sith and the Jedi at their height beating the shit out of each other.
The downside to that's one of those ones where they have to play real pokey, touchy, careful because it's all about those rights. What do they technically own? What don't they technically own? It gets hard.
Well, to be fair, they own everything. The only thing that EA has is the license to publish.
No, I'm talking about Lucasfilm. Remember that those rights, like just because Disney bought the rights to Star Wars does not mean they own the rights to individual stories told by other companies. That's not how that works.
No. Yeah. I'm
So, so to do a KOTOR movie, you have to decide what is and isn't going to be real and canon.
Time period.
Sure,
Not that
but who's to say
story.
that time period is anything like that anymore? That's what I'm getting at.
Well, yeah, but
If you do something too similar, they can come back and go, "We wrote that time period for you." That's why it gets dangerous.
well,
It's just you have to play carefully. That's all I'm saying. It's not that they can't.
Fuck
It's
EA.
that you gotta tiptoe. Though EA would be smart to do anything they want because EA doesn't want to lose that fucking Star Wars contract, and I
Yeah.
feel like they're really close to losing that Star Wars contract.
Yeah, except have you played the fighter game that they just released?
Do I play piloting games?
I'm just saying, like a demo or something.
No.
He's played it. He's just lying.
Absolutely not.
No, absolutely not. He does not do drivey games. I hear that's good, but everything else they've put out. I mean, Fallen Order wasn't bad. You and I just don't like the playstyle. That's the problem.
Yeah, I heard Dark Souls and I was out. Okay, we're at about that halfway point. Let's dive into reviews.
Okay.
Well, so announcements. Do you want to package it up? Do you got any feelings as a whole?
I'm kind of in, although it's going to take me a really long time to get through all this content.
My wife is really worried it's going to be like New 52. She doesn't want to have to watch all of them to get it. She wants to be able to decide which ones she likes and which ones she doesn't and just watch those. I'm thinking it's actually probably going to be closer to that, but we will see.
Yeah. I'm in for... I'm in. I like them. I think Mandalorian is fantastic. I think Favreau, even with Iron Man, did a fantastic job.
Favreau's just got it.
So...
Did you hear that? Were you there when we were telling the joke? Did you hear Favreau broke his back?
Carrying the MCU?
Carrying the entire Star Wars universe just finally snapped that son of a bitch.
That's funny.
That one's going around online. All right, it's review time.
All right, Solo.
Is that where we were? Is that where we left off reviewing? Was Solo?
I had only watched half of it. So.
Okay, you hit me. Give me your feelings. Solo it up. Solo.
If Solo was a sci-fi original movie, it would have been fantastic.
If it weren't a Star Wars movie, it would have been real cool.
Yeah, I feel like that would have been probably better off as they maybe Blade Runner style movie.
Something.
Right? I don't know. I didn't hate it. It was definitely not the worst in the series. The effects were better than any of the trilogy.
And I will say, if you're doing a chronological watch, boy, what a breath of fresh air Solo is. Because you come off of that horrible CG and you go, oh my god, a puppet, and it looks so good. It looks so good.
Yeah, so definitely in for that. However, the story's kind of meh.
Yep. Keep going.
Well, and there's a lot of criticisms that I could levy, but let's be fair. The acting wasn't particularly bad.
No.
The effects were fantastic. Paul Bettany tuned up the goddamn scenery, man.
Paul Bettany's great, and if I'm gonna see a hat pull delivered at anybody, I'm also gonna throw it at Donald Glover. He's playing Lando. You know, it's not a version of Lando. It's not a take on Lando. It's not his brand of Lando. He's playing Lando. Even I do think the guy playing Han does a good job of not taking away, but he doesn't fall as head first into the role as much as Donald Glover does.
No, not at all. I feel like if Donald Glover wouldn't have played it the way he played it, I would have liked the actor playing Han a lot more.
Yeah, except he's just outshined.
Yeah,
hands down.
He really is. And by the way, there were a couple little subtle things that I caught where I'm like, oh, really? That's how you're gonna play it? Like the Chewie's nickname.
Yeah.
Normally I don't give a shit, but I was like, okay, that seems really dumb. All right, whatever. So there were moments like that, but I don't know. There were things that they set up that made no sense, like the double cross, triple cross stuff, like I expected. However, when what's his name? When the wife dies, the one that dies on the bridge, I'm blanking on the names.
Oh yes, Woody Harrelson's wife.
Woody Harrelson, yeah. He's sad for 30 seconds.
Yeah, he gets over that pretty quick.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if they were trying to portray he's just that kind of piece of shit. He's got no real emotions. I know that they dropped that line of trust nobody, but I don't know. It just felt kind of weird there.
Yeah.
It's not a bad movie. I wish it would have been something else.
The biggest thing for me, I think, is that the movie doesn't have any stakes. Three of your main characters have no chance of major bodily harm. We
Hmm.
know none of them loses a limb. We know surely none of them die. We know none of them has any sort of entirely traumatizing, life scarring, forever changing event because from the get go, they're the people that we know them as already. So there's just no stakes in the film. That's the biggest issue for me as I watch it, and there's no real thrill because it's always just a matter of, oh, I guess how do they get out, not will they get out.
Yeah,
And they were like their big ending. We're like, we got to outrun this guy, but we got to go through this really dangerous thing. Well, there's no danger. We know they make it
yeah,
through. We know not only do they make it through, but the ship is fine.
and they make it
'Cause
through in 12 parsecs.
it's well, but exactly, they don't just
Yeah.
make it through, they famously make it through. So why even put the monster in there? There's no chance. Like, the monster comes into the situation rolling a 0. It
Yeah.
has no chance.
Yeah,
So
I get it.
it was just unneeded.
Yeah, and that's
No
kinda,
one was asking for that film.
it's kind of what I say. Although I do have a question. This might be a little too off the reservation here, but do you feel that them showing Han Solo making a sacrifice this time cheapens the sacrifices he made in the original series?
um No, I wouldn't say it cheapens it. You can always just chalk it up to, like, dude lived a particularly hard life. You could say it informed the decision, maybe. I do like that they gave him the opportunity to shoot first,
Yeah.
though just release the original fucking cut and not McClunky, but whatever. Yeah.
You're like, that's all I got. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it maybe it doesn't cheapen it, but it does diminish the fact that he came back.
Yeah.
Right? Like that. I feel like, especially as I rewatched it, like I just
Mhm.
finished it as
Mhm.
like 20 minutes before I jumped on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was doing it while I was working out. So strange flex. But yeah, I felt it definitely diminished it a little bit. Like, oh, it wasn't Luke that changed his heart. It wasn't the Force. It was just he kind of had it in him all along.
Yeah, he's always just been kind of a bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, you're right.
yeah, that's how I feel about that. So I don't hate Solo. I just think, again, I feel like maybe that script was meant for somebody else, and they went, we can make it a Solo movie.
I've done a machete canon. This year I'm doing a chronological canon. Maybe next year I do, like, what I call the essential canon, and I only watch the movies that need to be watched. So it's just like Rogue, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then that's all I'm gonna watch. Something, because the other ones, like, it's the rumor for a while was that there was going to be a Boba Fett movie, which I think honestly was just the Mandalorian, and
Oh yeah.
insider idiots were just getting bad info. But fuck me, I would not have been happy with a Boba Fett movie. I think we said everything we needed to say with Star Wars Bounty Hunter playing as Jango Fett hunting some bounties.
Okay.
We said it all. We said everything we needed to say with that until we got Mandalorian, which is not a Boba Fett, which is why it works. If you made the Mandalorian about Boba Fett, it'd be garbage. If you tried
Yeah.
to say, like, this is what he was doing before all of them showed up, you'd be like, this sucks.
Yeah.
They made the right move, and
What if they
not
try to make it afterwards, right?
No.
How he gets out of the
No.
Sarlacc pit and what he does afterwards? No.
Well, that's a different show. I'm saying if you took this show and tried to justify it as being
no.
like Boba Fett before the actions of
No.
Episode 5, like immediately you're like, that would never work. But right, and that's what I think. People were like, they're making a Boba Fett movie. I really do think it was production on The Mandalorian, and people were just not.
Yeah, but to be
Getting the
fair,
whole
there were
picture.
rumors about a Boba Fett movie for years. If that was how
Yeah.
long the production on The Mandalorian took.
Trust me, you don't want a Boba Fett movie. You don't, because you have to make him the hero.
Yeah.
And if you make him
To be fair, that's
sympathetic,
like saying, though, like, we want a Guido movie, and we just don't.
right? We don't need it. We don't need it.
No, I'm
So
out.
so in a nutshell, Solo, not bad, but not good. So if last week I was ranking 1, 2, and 3, I think I gave them 2s across the board.
Yep.
Because like a 1 is unwatchable, right? A 1 is just
A 1 is 8.
yeah. I'm trying to think of like a movie that is truly like I won't watch that again. It's a 1.
Captain Corelli's Mandolin.
Okay, I haven't seen that, but
It's
sure.
Nicolas Cage and I think Penelope Cruz.
Oh, actually, you know what? I'll throw out a Nicolas Cage movie too. Everybody swore by Raising Arizona. This was like recently. Me and my wife were watching Raising Arizona. We were even a little drunk, which gives most movies a pass, and we turned it off like 20 minutes in because nothing happened in that movie. Awful. Awful. Will not give it another try. Done. It's a 1.
Okay.
So there's the scale for 1. These are 2s. They were 2s across the board. I can watch the Star Wars prequels. Like if it's on somewhere, fuck it. Let's watch the Star Wars prequel. But they're not good. So if that's where these rank, I think I can give Solo a 3. I can go middle ground. A 3 out of 3. Solo is a true middle ground for me. It's fine. It's not bad. It's not good. It's Solo.
Okay. Yeah, I can't. I didn't hate it, and I'm sad that there aren't going to be any more because I have always wanted to know more about Han, but not like that.
Not like this.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
God.
I am sad that they're not going to make any more. That Solo kind of killed the Legends films that they were going to do, right? But whatever. A New Hope.
No.
Oh,
You're
wait,
skipping a whole movie.
Right, chronological.
God damn it!
Yeah.
So Rogue One, which I actually am. I'm a little insulted that you'd skip it because, man, Rogue One's pretty fucking. Honestly, I think I walked out of Rogue One in the theater going, I don't think I liked that. And the minute I threw it in at home and gave it that second chance, I was like, I don't know where my headspace was at, but this is the shit we needed. I really like Rogue One. I really like Rogue One.
I probably think it's the best of the new ones.
You'd put it even over 7?
I would, because it wasn't nostalgia. It was a brand new thing that didn't suck in the universe I love.
Yeah, I would say the best thing about Rogue One is it serves to only add.
Yep.
It doesn't take away, it doesn't clarify, it doesn't reshape, reform, reimagine. It only builds.
As much as some of the critics are correct in saying that this movie didn't need to happen, we could have
Aren't you glad it did?
That's where I'm at. Like, yeah, you're right. It didn't need to happen, but it was executed so well that I'm glad it did.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I was even telling Eduardo before we started recording this. I thought it moved into episode 4 so seamlessly.
Yeah,
it's real good at like not seamlessly as in like you pick up the very second, but seamlessly like you'd buy that as a cut. If you were watching these movies blended into one, you'd buy that as the cut to the next bit.
Mm-hmm. It was very interesting. And actually, it was kind of funny because it brought up some of the questions that I had and some of the inconsistencies because it was so seamless.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, when I transitioned from Rogue One to 4, I was like, wait, why is he
jankier?
Yeah, why is he acting that way or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's a little more flexy in Rogue One than he is in
Yeah.
But I mean, that's time and technology. You can only do so much. But yeah, like Rogue One, likable characters. The little bits of lore that leads to is really cool. Like I didn't know this, and so this is not canon, but apparently the sect of Force users that was it Baza and
I forget, dude.
So the two monks, the one monk who's still a monk and the fallen out monk, the order that they come from, apparently there are 2 deleted scenes in episode 3 where Yoda tells Obi-Wan that their order is the Order of Force users who created the ability to become a Force ghost. They're not Jedi. They're just a group of people who are Force sensitive, but believe in the Force in a different way than Jedi do. Making the Force, I really like that aspect. There shouldn't just be Jedi. If the Force is this literal thing that you can tap into, but isn't understood, there are people who will interpret that differently. Just like religion here. Sure, you have a bunch of Christians, but you have Methodist and Baptist and
it's all about the interpretation.
Exactly. You would absolutely have that with something like the Force, and I love the idea. So unfortunately, that's been retconned. That's gone. Well, not even retconned because the scene never made it in, right? But that's why they use this. Is this was always supposed to be a group of Force users who did this thing. They don't get to have done that thing, but they are Force users who could have done other things and had other things they did. So I loved finding out about like that sprinkled bit and getting to see a different kind of Force user. It wasn't a Sith, it wasn't a Jedi, it wasn't a Grey. They were like option Q. They were just like monks.
Yeah, which Legends goes into, and there was a lot of it in the EU. So it's nice to see on well, it would have been nice to see. Yeah.
Loved Jyn Orza as a character, and really loved Felicity Jones in the part. She nailed it. She nailed it. Loved Alan Tudyk's what was it? MK421?
You know what? I still have to say the droid is my favorite part.
Alan Tudyk, man, you can't beat Alan Tudyk. He's the best.
I know, but like even the if he wrote those parts, it'd be great. But like the dialogue that they wrote for him was well written and well executed. So credit to him, but that writing was on point too.
But yeah, fun characters, great ending. You cannot take away from that ending. It's solid.
Yeah, it is, dude. Honestly, that ending was so fucking badass. Even I feel like it did it better than the last time I saw Andy like that, which was Deep Impact. Do you remember that?
Oh man, it's been so long since I've seen Deep Impact.
Spoiler, it's been out for probably 15 years,
if not more,
at least. They failed to stop.
No, it's definitely more.
They failed to stop.
Bro, that's 1998.
Jesus,
you're old.
Yes, yes, I am. But anyway, so it ends with the main character on the beach as a giant wall of water comes at her because they failed to stop the comet, right? Which is very much, it just didn't hit as well as it did here in Rogue One. Like,
yeah. Well, because it's a bittersweet here, right? Like, they won. They did it. And what's their reward? A swift death. Like, that's the
not
best
even
you
that
got.
Swift. It looked like it was taking a while for that firewall to get to him.
Yeah.
Like, and I like that they went realistic in this, and it's like, this thing, sure, you can try and hide in the water, but it'll boil the ocean around you. So, like, you're going to die. Also, my favorite part about Rogue One, they didn't kiss. You know why? Because they don't fucking have to.
Yeah, they weren't in love. The only reason they're hugging at the end is because that's a human being who's there meeting their demise with you.
Yeah, they literally know each other for like a week.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad that they didn't ship it. I thought that was great.
Really good. Yeah, Rogue One. Not enough nice things to say about Rogue One. I really do. I don't think it can make my top 3. Being truly honest, Rogue One isn't top 3, but it is number 4.
Yeah, I would say.
For me, it's number 4.
But to be fair, my top 3 are 4, 5, and 6.
See, my top 3 are 4, 5, and 7.
I can't. I'm sorry. I loved Return of the Jedi too much.
I have problems with Jedi.
I know you do, and we'll get there. We'll fucking get there.
Ewokian problems.
Yeah.
I'm not an Ewok hater. I just still don't love it.
I forget they exist all the time.
Bears, God
That's where
damn
I'm in denial, but
so dumb. It's fine, but it's dumb. Okay, so ratings to Rogue One. I mean, honestly, if it's not a 5, it's a 4.5.
Yeah, this is a solid 4.5. Yeah, I would say. I agree. I do think
slam dunk.
Yeah, Rogue One is fantastic. It was well done. It was well timed, and I will say, like, even the little problems it has, it's so fun that you can easily overlook them. But yeah, so
Yeah.
all in all right. So I think we should probably stop here before we go into, because I feel
You don't
like
want to do a super fast on 4? We don't have to. I'm asking.
no, because
Okay.
since 4 is the originator, I feel like you and I need more time.
Okay. All right. Well, straight away we'll dive into 4 next time.
For sure, yeah, it'll be the first thing we do. All right,
I'm sorry. Did you say for sure?
yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da. Hey. All right.
All right, play us
Let's
out.
play us out. Me? Okay. Let me see how much of this I can do, and you can correct me. You can check us out on 5dpodcast.com or in 5dproductions.com. We're using both right now. There's a Facebook, which is 5D Productions at Facebook.
Hey, check us out on YouTube, 5D Podcast. Tuesday nights we're on Twitch.
There is a Facebook. It fucking
Network.
exists.
Yes, we actually do have 2 Facebook pages. We have one for 5D Podcast and one for Metagame Network. I have been meaning to post on there recently, but every time I go there, Facebook tells me to message Klops, and I've been avoiding it. Yeah, so more posts to come. Anyways, twitch.tv/Metagame Network. Tuesdays, we are doing multiplayer night. Probably doing some more Killing Floor tomorrow, but I am not sure at this point. All right. Also, Bias Bros every other Thursday. Check that out. Both out on iTunes, and 5D Podcast can be found also on Podbean. Final words.
Jin Orza.
I feel like you might be in love with the actress and not the character.
No, it's definitely more the character than the actress. That's nothing against Felicity Jones. She is actually really great, but fucking A, Jin was such a good character. Love Jin.
Yeah.
Also, her name's Jin. You know what I love?
That is true. All right. On that note, bye.
Bye.